And we are back, vlog number 8 on new series, and today we're just gonna discuss everything that I have been doing this weekend, where I'm moving on from all these kind of things forward. It's week 6 of second phase of this training block, which I have split into 5 different phases. And yeah, I got another week heavy-ish in front of me, and then I will have sort of a deload week before I transition into next phase, which is going to be even more challenging than now. A lot of moving, a lot of pushing, basic movements, predominantly just resetting how I move on things like bench press and squat, and leg press as well. Actually had a really good leg session today, 17th of December, Thursday, 2021. So leg session went really smooth. And I built it up to 440 kilo leg press. I don't count the cage and all the kind of bollocks. I just count plates on leg press. That moved very comfortable without any pain, full range of motion and whatnot. To compare, just a year and a half ago, I couldn't even press one plate on my left leg. So I take it as a win, massive win. Yeah, obviously I've done 700 kilos, but I'm not rushing to getting there in this year, 100%, maybe not even next year. I'm having in my head number like 18 months until I'm back into being fully capable of doing what I used to do before these minor setbacks, but that's not the point. If anyone has read TB12 by Tom Brady, the concept he describes there about how he trains his body is pretty much what I have done throughout my life without even acknowledging that, which is, whilst you're young and crazy, go all out and chase that strength, because you will recover much quicker. Your body is much more forgiving and you have way less stress out of everything outside the gym as well. Whereas when you get more kind of mature in terms of training, more advanced in your strength, size, you have more responsibilities on you and whatnot, because that takes away from your recovery from the weight training. Then you need to focus more on so-called playability of your body, basically being as childlike athlete as possible. This is one of my mantras. You need to eat like an adult and train like a child. If you stop moving like a kid, your body will start falling apart. You will just become a bloody tin man, and nobody wants that. I definitely don't want that. So that's why I do a lot of weird things. I don't want to be one of those guys who is a huge guy in a gym, but you can't do anything outside the gym, you know. So yeah. So week 6 on a new phase. We got 2 more weeks before I transition to next one. I had 3 weeks on first phase. Then I had a trip to Turkey to get surgery done. Ever since I came back to Turkey, my stomach is still slightly off. So I need to be very delicate about what I do, how I do, when I do it, and things like that. But yeah, my food has actually gone up this week. I have gone up to... Original plan was 5,000 calories, but what I did is, instead of 3 meals and a shake, I have 4 meals now, and it has ended up to 5,500 calories instead of 5. What can I say? I can eat. So yeah, appetite is not an issue really. It's more of a controlling my sleep to make sure that I have appetite. If I don't sleep well, my appetite goes to garbage. And whereas if I have a good night's sleep, rest, recover, and give myself kind of a time to chill out after my training sessions, my appetite is quite good, and so I can sustain 5,500 calories without much of an effort. I already reached that today. I could probably throw in another 1,000 calories, but I'm not gonna do that because I don't want my body to gain too much weight too quickly. I know this is gonna sound daft, but let's be honest, I know my body can easily hold 120 kilos, and I could get to that body weight within 7 days if I wanted to. I don't. I really don't. I want to make sure that my physical abilities are more superior towards my body weight. If that even makes sense. I want to be fitter than my body is, than my body requires just for survival. I want to be athletic, so that's the goal. My goal is very slow regain of the weight I have been at, and then go from there. So by the end of this, I got week 6, that's 9 weeks. I got 11 weeks left on this block. I'll probably will be close to 120 kilos. Ideally 117, that's something on my mind, before I transition into hypertrophy phase and then push to 123, 125, depending on how busy I will get over next year, because I have a lot of things planned out outside the training, which can kind of interfere with all that. So my food might be off and all those kind of things. But it's a challenge I'm willing to take on, and I probably should make another video, but I'll touch on that. It's not easy to be my weight. Even though I'm not the biggest of the guys, it's still full-time job just to maintain my body weight. I spend around 4 hours a day eating. Who the hell wants to do that? If you are delusional and you think you want to be big and whatnot, you need to understand what comes with it. Food expenses, health implications, time you spend eating, time you restrict spending with your girlfriend, whatever. All those kind of things need to be taken into account. Are you willing to give that up just for weight on scales? I'm not. So this is why one of the reasons why I kind of drop my calories down and try to maintain my body weight at much lower calories than I usually do, because usually I'm closer to 7,000 calories at my current body weight. Now I can maintain it at 5,500 calories, which is great, which is 2,000 calories less, which is way more time to do stuff that actually matters, instead of just sitting and eating and watching YouTube videos. So yeah, that's quite a long stuff. So I want to touch on some personal stuff. Maybe we're gonna go through that quickly, and what I mean by that is, if you don't realize how much impact mental aspect puts on your physical aspect, you are still very much beginner on everything. So, and these last couple of weeks been quite challenging. First of all, I am doing HRT with test and NPP. NPP is something I have never, ever tried. Jesus Christ, it's flipping weird. Yeah, I'm very aware of how things affect you mentally, and I just don't like how it affects me. It just makes you, how can I even describe? Everything is way more irritable than it should be. It means that sometimes I just need to withdraw myself from places, or I will say something that probably I don't even think at the moment, but it's more towards just having the 10 pp in me that makes me kind of not give a shit, so to speak. So yeah, it's interesting experience. I might do something stupid that I've never done as well, which is like microdosing daily. Something I absolutely hate idea of it, but I'm willing to try new things whilst I'm not kind of religious with everything else. I can mess about with these kind of things. Just to give it a good 10-week run probably on it, to really collect data, how I respond to it and what it does to me. I have done master on multiple times now, and anything above 300 mgs is just making me, I can't even describe it. It kills my will to do stuff. So that's a no-go for me. And NPP seems to be a weird one as well. So we'll see how it goes. Susten Deca seems to be the way. Good old style stuff. Maybe something to do with that. When I started, nothing else was available and those two things were used no matter what kind of goal you had in your mind. And they seem to work very well with me, and I will go back to that at some point sooner or later. But at this point, I'm just collecting data and see, so I can reflect on what kind of effects it has, side effects, and all those kind of things. And at the same time, it keeps me at the point where I can just withdraw from everything because it's fast-acting thing, and I can have a quick break and reset my body for hypertrophy push. Because otherwise I would have to plan much longer breaks and whatnot. Whereas now I can literally have a break to a couple of weeks off, redo my blood tests, and jump on a big push. So that's the reasoning behind that. So main focus is on getting a good sleep. As always, I had one night where I went to bed really late, mainly because I had a bit later meals than usual. Messed up my sleep completely, so I had to make conscious decision on a training session in the morning that I will not try to push any harder than last week. I was making deliberate decision to drop everything I did by 10-15% in terms of load, and just focus on execution instead. So it turned out really good session. And I know in those cases when I haven't slept well, sometimes tendency is, let's just drop in a pre-workout and just push through it. It doesn't matter. I just need to show up, balls out and whatnot. It's just stupid. Not a teenager anymore. So, and actually, most likely would have injured myself had I had maintained that kind of attitude throughout life. So there's no point for it. I know how strong I can get. I know how big I can get. Now it's more about longevity and maintaining injury-free body as long as possible. So some other personal issues are that, like with everyone else, all this nonsense that's happening now has led to losing people, and obviously most of the time losing people to things that we shouldn't have lost, because focus is just on one thing rather than everything else. So yeah, I got some funerals to attend soon, which is a ball ache in terms of losing very close friends is never easy. And yeah, I don't get emotional much, but these things leave an impact on everyone, but I'm gonna do what I always do, celebrate those people for what they did, how much impact they made on everyone else, and use that as a driving force to do better myself, instead of moaning and crying that, oh crap, this happened. Things happen for a reason, and how you look at them at the end is what you will become. And where I come from, we are taught to celebrate people for what they achieved and what they did, not moan about what they haven't done. And that attitude I'm gonna be taking forward no matter what. And I might get upset for hours, maybe a day or two, and then appreciate those people and make sure I do things that would probably make them proud, instead of being a miserable twat who needs help himself or whatever else. So all that being said, everything is great. My personal point at this moment is to improve my kind of daily schedule on how I do things, when I do things. That's going down really well, so my sleep is kind of on point. My food intake is getting very close to optimal timings. I need to improve some recovery strategies straight after training sessions, because they are getting tougher than they were before, and I feel like a power nap after training would do me a lot of good. And moving forward as well, I'm gonna redo a course. So yeah, this probably is the right description of a course about time management. So I have done it twice already, and people probably will be like, oh, what do you mean, you're already doing it twice, why do you need to do it third time? It's because that's how you master things. You don't go to gym, do one bench press, and then expect to be a prolific bench presser. It just doesn't happen. Same like if you attend any course, any seminar, if all you do is go there, sit on your ass and make some notes, but never go home, revisit your notes, and try to connect with at least people who were there, if not lecturers themselves, you're not going to learn anything. You need to understand. I wish someone taught me this before I spent so many hours and so much money and time on so many courses that I never learned anything from. I didn't even understand that most of the time I should have at least made some connections from those courses. So I'm doing time management course third time in a row to improve my efficiency and stop wasting my goddamn time on things that I know are not doing any benefit for me. And most of us are wasting so much time. And I just had a look yesterday on my first ever attempt on doing it, and it's hilarious. The things I wrote down there, what were important for me, now is just laughable. And that alone just shows that the advancements I've made have paid off, because I'm in far better place than I was on my first ever attempt. And after this third one, I'll probably do it at least once a year from now on, all the time. And maybe in the long run make some adjustments, and maybe even offer others to learn from me how I apply all of that to current settings in life. Because that thing is slightly like 90-ish style thing. So we need slightly different things now because of technology and whatnot, and the way people think at the moment. But yeah, that all being said, make sure you go and check out Team Evil GSP website, because Broderick has cooked up a new cheat sheet, so to speak, about PEDs. So if you want to learn the very basics that will change your life, go there. It's $19.99. So for those in Europe, it's going to be a bit cheaper than $20. So get your PED cheat sheet book in your wallet and start exploring it. And if you need any advice, if you got any questions, talk to people who are interested in the same exact things that you are, because there's never one answer, and until you learn that you need to question everything, but at the same time be open-minded that things might be right and you probably might just misunderstand how someone else perceives them, you're not going to learn much. Because just reading stuff once is not gonna get you anywhere. You need to make connections. You need to work on creating some groups and hanging out with people who have similar interests, who want to learn, who want to better themselves, not just for themselves but for others. And that's how we all should be actually striving to become. And if not, what's the point of living? If you're not trying to do things that make someone else's life better after you, why are you even trying to do anything? It just makes no sense to me. But yeah, I would be willing to discuss that as well. I think that's a very interesting topic, and if you got anything like that on your mind, drop me a message. We can talk and we can chat about how you could improve yourself and what I have done to try to improve myself, and where I'm actually going with all that, and what's the ultimate goal at the end. Because training is not the goal. Training is part of me. Something I will ever do. Always gonna be striving to be as good as I can given the circumstances around me. And from this way forward, I'm not focusing on anything related to competing this year. Not next year. Well, 2022 is probably not going to be a year where I do anything competitive, because I have planned so many things to work on my cognitive skills, so to speak. And 2023 is definitely the latest when I'm going to compete again. I will compete no matter what, but it just order of preferences at the moment are slightly different, and I believe that time out of being under stress and losing times that I could work on personal development because I would be getting ready for something, I will rather implement the time on improving my skills so I am even lesser stressed like next time around, if it even can be done, because last time when I was dieting I had no stress whatsoever. So yeah, on that now I'm just chatting nonsense at this point. If you got any questions, as usual, drop it down. See if you maybe want to see what my food preferences are or and whatnot. I don't think really that matters much, as long as you're not eating bloody sugar every single meal and crap. I do not tend to eat any carbs late at night because I want to keep my blood sugars stable. Make sure I kind of utilize different energy systems and make sure that I wake up hungry instead of wake up bloated and whatnot. But yeah, let me know what interests you, because at the moment things that I do to me seem like basic and just common sense, but I understand a lot of people probably don't even think about things that I do as something that should be done, like drinking water as soon as you wake up. A lot of people still think it's just absolute nonsense. And like I had a comment from somebody, salt makes you more hydrated than water. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is why the world is falling apart, because we have people with zero common sense left. I hope it's not you. So, and on that note, I'll speak to you next week.